You're a senior who's trying to lose belly fat, and you jump from one diet to the next, to the next, to the next, and yet none of them seem to stick. Why is that? Because diets are complicated. What if there was one simple thing that you could do to help you burn more belly fat? There is, and in this video, you'll learn what that is. But first, why don't diets work? Diets don't work because they assume your issue is nutritional. But that's not true. The issue is, that's just a surface level issue. You already know what to eat if you're older than the age of 5. You eat more vegetables, more protein, and less junk. No secrets there. Almost every diet agrees on this. So why can't we stick to it? Because information isn't motivation. There are hidden saboteurs of diets, and they are stress eating, emotional eating, lack of planning, cravings, and so on. These are the things that really need to be addressed in order to lose belly fat. The more things you try to change at the same time, the less likely you are to keep any of those changes. For example, imagine this. Here's your current breakfast. For breakfast, you have a coffee as well as a muffin. Your lunch is maybe a sandwich with lettuce, tomatoes, mayo, cheese, and ham. For dinner, you come home and you have a big bowl of pasta with chicken as well in Alfredo sauce. For dessert, you have a couple of cookies and a glass of wine. That's your current diet. You love it. It's not working for you. You got too much belly fat, but you love it. Now, you read about how good the keto diet is, and you completely change your diet. Now, your breakfast is bacon and eggs. Lunch is baked asparagus and bacon. For dinner, you have a turkey breast as well as quinoa. Now, it's very, very healthy, but are you going to stick to it? Look at how many differences you've made, from the food choices to the calories, to the macronutrients, to the protein, to the fat, so many differences. Is it any wonder that you can't stick to any diet in the long term? Is the diet's problem? No, the diet's not the problem. It's the way you approach changing your habits. That's the problem. It's much easier to focus on something extremely simple. But ideally, it's not just simple, it's simple and effective, not simple and ineffective. Is there something like that? There is, but I have to warn you, it's so simple. Most people will just dismiss it, will overlook it because of its simplicity. I urge you, don't do that. Take this seriously, and as long as you can do this, 21 meals per week, 42 meals over a 2-week period, you'll start to see losses in belly fat. So what is that simple thing? Protein. Very, very simple. Why protein? Protein is good for many things. One, it's good for your muscles, your bones, your immune system, your brain health, and so on. And so what is it specifically about protein for belly fat? Well, different macronutrients, that is carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, have different amounts of calories that you burn as a result of them. If you eat 100 calories of pure fat, for example, butter or olive oil or something like that, you're going to burn 2 or 3 calories out of those 100. If you eat 100 calories of pure carbs, for example, bread or pasta or rice, you're going to spend approximately 5-10 of those calories burning and digesting those carbs. If you eat 100 calories of pure protein, for example, shrimps or oysters or something like that, you're going to spend 25 to 30 of those calories burning it. That's called your thermic effect of food. How many calories do you burn as a result of that food? So protein has the highest thermic effect. That's one reason why protein is so good for belly fat. The other reason is that of the 3 macronutrients, carbs, protein, fat, protein is the most filling. It makes you feel fuller longer, so you end up eating less food overall. And if you're wondering, how much protein should you eat? Well, protein requirements depend on 3 factors. In no particular order, one factor is your weight. Heavier, larger people need more protein than smaller people. Makes sense. Larger bodies take more food to sustain. The second factor is your activity levels. Are you sedentary? Are you doing cardio only? Are you doing strength training only? Or are you doing strength training plus cardio? The last 2 categories have the same protein requirements, which for seniors is about 2.0 to 2.2 grams per kilogram per day. And the last factor is age. Are you over 60 or under 60? If you're over 60, your protein requirements are higher because your absorption of it is lower. So now, if you're sitting there and you're calculating how much protein do I need, you might be thinking, okay, what's the most efficient way of getting there? What are the best protein sources? Here's what I call grade A protein. Grade A protein is anything with more than 30 grams of protein per serving. By and large, it's just meat, fish, seafood. Chicken, turkey, steak, ground beef, halibut, trout, cod, salmon, shrimps, oysters, etc., all great protein sources. From a vegetarian or a vegan perspective, there's only a couple. Tofu, tempeh, egg whites, and whey protein, and that's about it. Next is what I call grade B protein, which is between 10 and 30 grams of protein per serving. Some examples of that would be beans, lentils, Greek yogurt, Icelandic yogurt, and so on. The last category is what I call grade C protein. That's things that people traditionally think of as protein sources but are not good protein sources. For example, nuts. All nuts are about the same, whether it's almonds, cashews, hazelnuts, pistachios, walnuts are all about the same, where you only get about 5 grams of protein per serving, about 350 calories. That's not very good. Eggs. One medium egg is about 6 grams of protein, one large egg is about 9 grams of protein. Cheese. One slice or one cube of cheese is about 5 or 6 grams of protein. Vegetables are almost all under 5 grams of protein. There's no single vegetable that's a rich protein source. A glass of milk is about 9 grams of protein. So these are all grade C protein. And that's the one thing you focus on for the next month. Here are a couple of tips. First, whatever source of protein you choose, put that on your plate first. The word protein comes from the Greek word protos, which means of primary importance. You want to put that on your plate first so that that plate space is occupied by protein and the remainder is something else. So how do you fit adequate protein into your day? My first piece of advice to you is plan it. In the beginning of the day, say, okay, here's my protein source for breakfast, here's my protein source for lunch, and here it is for dinner. So first of all, plan it. Now, despite your best plans, you might not reach 21 meals out of 21 that are high in protein. All you do is next week, just play the game of beat last week. If in week 1 of trying to get adequate protein, you had 15 out of 21 meals that were high in protein, next week try to do 16, and then 17, and then 18. Don't just give up right away just because you might not have hit perfect protein in every meal. Just figure out what went wrong and how can you get more of it during your meals. Give this method an honest shot for a month. Measure your waist circumference, and if possible, your body fat before and measure it at the end of a month. Be faithful about it and let me know in the comments what happens a month later. If you like this video, I have lots more videos just like this and lots more information just like this in my free exercise and nutrition newsletter for people over 50. Click on the link in the description below and that'll take you to our newsletter where you have the option of subscribing. You always have the opportunity to unsubscribe. Thank you and goodbye.